All right, guys, as promised, here are a couple of problems from your homework tonight, worksheet 10.8, writing equations of circles, day 1. I'm going to do problem number 5 and problem number 8 for you. So we're obviously going to start with problem number 5, right? We like to go in numerical order. Remember, when we are writing an equation of a circle, right, we want something that ends up looking like x minus h squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. And remember, we need to have these two coordinates, right? Those two coordinates are our center. And then, of course, obviously, the r stands for the radius, okay? Here, we are given our center, which is great, negative 16, negative 9. Great, we've got that, but we have a problem because we don't have our radius. But what we can do is we can figure out our radius. We can always use our distance formula to figure out our radius. And it's always nice to, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. We just kind of want to draw a picture so we know exactly what we're looking for. We've got negative 16, negative 9 for the center of the circle, right? And then a point on a circle. It doesn't matter where it's at. I don't care. It does not. We're not looking to actually graph this in the coordinate plane right now. We're just looking to actually have an abstract picture. So we have a negative 18, negative 8. It is somewhere on the circle. And of course, our radius is the distance between those 2 points. And we are going to use the distance formula. And, I like to write r, even though this time, it is for the distance formula, but we are looking for the radius. So the radius is going to be the square root of, and remember, we're just going to do x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. So when we're looking for our radius, here we go. And it doesn't matter which we make our x2 and our x1. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go with a negative 18 minus a negative 16. So negative 18 minus a negative 16. Oops, not a 61. Sorry about that. It is Tuesday after all, and it's officially like our first day back this week, so you're going to have to forgive me. So negative 18 minus a negative 16 quantity squared plus we've got a y2. Okay, so our y2, remember I started with a negative 18 right here, so I have to come back to this negative 8 right here for my y2. So negative 8 minus a negative 9 quantity squared. Okay, just simplify and just be careful when you are simplifying. You can usually let your calculator do most of the work, but you've got to be careful and watch your signs. You have to watch those signs, remember? So negative 18 minus a negative 16 is negative 18 plus 16. So this is going to be, got to switch colors. We're blue right now. It is going to be a negative 2 quantity squared plus, and over here we're actually going to positive 1 squared. So when we do this, we'll get the square root of 4 plus 1. So our radius is going to equal square root of 5. Okay, so right here, square root of 5. Whatever units we're in, centimeters, inches, it doesn't matter. The length from the center of our circle to the edge of our circle is a square root of 5. And so now I have everything I need. Let me get my fun pens out. All right, so I have my radius right here, square root of 5, and I already had the center right there. So all I have to do now is go and plug it into this formula right here, or that basically our equation right there. Okay, so when I write it, and I'm going to write it nice down at the bottom, we're going to write x minus, I got to go back up, scroll back up. Hopefully you don't have to scroll back up your page. And I've got a negative 16 for my x value. Negative 16 squared plus y minus, and I'll go back up and take a look at, I've got a negative 9, y minus a negative 9 quantity squared equals, and thankfully I don't have to scroll because my radius is right there, so it's going to be the square root of 5 squared. And remember, the last step, we're not actually solving for x, we're not actually solving for y, no solving or anything like that. We are just making our equation look pretty. Right? So we do minus and negative the same as plus a positive, so we'll have to change that. And our final answer is going to be an x plus 16 quantity squared plus a y plus 9 quantity squared equals 5. Because remember, because it's just one term, the radical and the exponent cancel each other out. So our final answer is that right there. I'll go full page for you so you can actually see the whole problem. There we go, right? So you've got the entire problem in front of you right now so that you can see it, and you will be able to pause your video if you want to take a look at the whole thing. Okay? All right, I'll go on and do number 8 in the next video.